I'm going all in. All right, welcome degenerate traders, investors, gamblers, more importantly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what I want to get is the chat. How do I get the chat up here? The heifers are still mooing. YouTube. I'm going all in. LSL program. NAS is already selling off. Damn. Well, no bid goes undone. Ooh, CFLT, nice bid. Workday, nice bid. All right, I am live. Workday, nice bid. And we'll get rolling here in like 5 minutes. All right, I am live. Let me turn the phone off. Oh, Workday, I love you more than chicken wings on a Friday night. I am going all in. Everyone is getting long NVDA, so therefore get short it. Easiest trade. Air downloading data. What? Good morning from hangover to happiness. Quite the username, I will say. I like it. I have not been drinking lately, so I've been a good boy. I need my morning mashup. There we go. Welcome, welcome. Audio good, video good. I'm trying only YouTube today, so none of that Zoom. No Zoom today. Or no Zoom. We'll get the Italy hat because it's good luck, apparently. Italy has been good luck lately, huh? It has been pretty good. You know what's a little concerning today? The crypto frauds, the Bitcoin fraud. A little scary today, I'm not going to lie. There's the crypto fraud. We got our Hogan. Should have bought more TKO. Well, you can never have too much TKO in your life, right? You know, my girlfriend is actually, she goes, when do they have earnings? I go, this week. She goes, I have to buy more stock. I go, duh. And then I go, well, what if it goes down on earnings? She goes, it will just go right back up, right? I go, of course. But I put 40 grand into the Russell, and then I'll probably put, I don't know, I'll probably do, I have a lot of TKO calls and a lot of stock. I think it hits 200 a share, but earnings can always be a little dice roll. So if it goes down on earnings, I'll probably buy a lot. If it goes up on earnings, well, great. But, you know, it's a double-edged, it's a double win scenario. That's how good it is. All right, let's start. Shall we? You should see here the morning mashup. I just get this from the trade exchange. I pay for it out of pocket, so yeah, I don't care if you do. It doesn't help me. There's like some affiliate thing. I just don't do it because I don't care about $30 or $50, whatever it is. But we do have a little gap up in overnight markets. Not much though. I mean, I will admit, if you're a bull, it's somewhat of a relief, but you know, everything is obviously NVDA. So, you know, why I've been such short-term trading or only trading earnings is because NVIDIA this week. So not much there. We do have, and they've been slamming Amazon lately. So one thing to take a look out for today, if you don't own them already, is Amazon. Why do I mention Amazon? Same thing why I mentioned Workday on Monday. Is what have we seen in Amazonia lately? Big bulls. We're talking big bets, not little babies. Yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bulls. And Amazon. So Amazon, 5 bulls yesterday, ahead of their analyst day. And the shares are up $10 already off yesterday's low. So you actually had more, pardon me. One bear, so remember bearish is usually bearish out the money put buying, which that is, so hedge. And then you have more bulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you had 11 bulls in Amazon. It's a lot, right? And Amazon moved. Meanwhile, stocks like Microsoft were horrible yesterday. So everyone, maybe something to write down, consider. Obviously, you click your own mouse, but everything in Amazon yesterday was weeklies or next week and all bulls. So Amazon, if you're looking for bull plays, that's your go-to. And you have Salesforce earnings, which will influence Amazon. So now you know the why behind the Amazon bulls, right? Because they have a analyst investor call today. So you see how, as a trader, you need to put pieces to the puzzle together, right? If you didn't know Amazon had their analyst day, you would basically just be trading blind. Or if you didn't see all the Amazon flow on the news flow scanner, you know, again, you'd be trading pretty much blind. So make sure you get the news flow scanner. If not, keep losing money. And the markets are guessing. I don't know if it's available, though. I'm not sure. If anyone's in the chat has a link, post it. All right, what else do we have? I say that, and then I say it might not even be available. What a mean. What else do we have? Here we go. Oh, look, American Airlines. Oh, my God, look at this. Look at this. What name hit the scanner yesterday? CFLT. And the day before. Stock's up $1.20, 5% pre-market. Upgraded. CFLT upgrade at UBS. All those calls yesterday. Boom, shakalaka. Woo! God dang, son. Wish I bought more. I was already up on those calls 31% on CFLT. So they're probably going to get 50% today, if not more. Woo, son. All right, let's see what else we got. Home Depot, a little late, already reported earnings. American Airlines. I thought we saw some bull flow in that pig. Yeah, we did. Past couple days, you had some bull bets in American. And they did it right at 999,000 to keep it under 100K. So that sneaky bastard was spot on. And you see how volume greater than open interest? Volume greater than open interest. Do not take volume less than open interest. So volume greater than open interest. Bull bets. American upgraded this morning. My God. Scanners are hot. Woo! I hate to say this is the easiest market to make money, but the option flow has never been hotter. Then earnings this week. NVDA, TJ Maxx, eBay. And look what name is up the most today. Workday. What name did we cover Monday on the option flow? Workday. What name did they buy more yesterday? Workday. So in the money calls on an odd, unique stock you don't see often, cha-ching. Boom, baby. Now remember, if you're trading NVIDIA or stocks like that, you might be saying, well, Lance, I see puts, I see some calls, I see some puts. What do I do with NVIDIA? Do not trade. Why? It trades 1 million options a day. 300 grand, $2 million. This trader was a little size behind them at 10 million, but still not an impact for a stock like NVIDIA. It trades billions in the options market a day. So NVIDIA, I'll be straight up, do not trade it. If you want to trade, I would say SMH would be your go-to. All right, well, let's get into the details. And my house cleaner is here. And Deanna, if you have the link or anyone on my team, can you post the link to buy the news flow scanner so these people can start making money in the markets and not guessing? All right, let's get into some names today. First of all, let me ask in the chat, what names do y'all want to look at? Because if you're not in some of the names we went over this week, well, you're probably having FOMO right now, and I don't want y'all to have FOMO. Those workday calls will be at about 200% at the open, so not bad for 2 days. If you own Rocket calls, they'll be up probably about 70%, and you get earnings. Obviously, Walgreens, I still have some calls, but I've been scaling out as the stock keeps going higher. So that's been very good. Tesla. Ooh, all right, good one. So let's look at Tesla here. So I want to look at it from we're going to do a little emotional where does everyone have their trades? So let's go ahead and look at it. If you were long Tesla, and let's actually get a volume study. I want you all to look at it completely naked, because this is how you can read charts without needing anything. No lines, no moving average. You don't need any of that stuff. No, like, it pulled to the 100-day. So think of it this way. Broke support, broke support, broke support. So let me ask all in the chat, if a stock breaks support, what should it do? If a stock breaks support, what is it usually going to do? Right, it's going to move lower, right? It's going to go down. So if people were long, where are they going to get stopped out? So let's say you tried buying Tesla. So buyers came in here, 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 here. Where's their stops going to be? So a sell stop or a stop loss. Where's that going to be probably? It's going to be right at 300. Right? It's going to be right at 300 a share. Oops. So if everyone gets stopped out of their trade, so let's say all the buyers are now gone, they're stopped out, and all those sell stops get hit. So sell stops got hit, and how do we know that? Look at volume. You see how volume spiked yesterday? See how volume spiked yesterday? So it wasn't people manually hitting the sell button. It was them getting forced liquidation, a liquidation break. Sell stops got triggered. If you bought a Tesla, let's say at 400, where's going to be your swing stop? 300. If you bought Tesla or day traded it, where's your stop going to be? 300. And how do I know this? If you break it down, let's say on a 5-minute, look what happens yesterday as we break 300 a share. So we broke 300 a couple times, right here, and look what happened to volume. Those orders got flush. You had day traders come in, buying it. What happens when we broke 300 again? Volume spiked. We broke 300 again, volume spiked. So now that all the sellers are gone, they got stopped out, and people see Tesla, let's say it goes up more. Let's say it goes over the previous swing high, 310. What are they going to have? FOMO. And they're going to chase it up. So it's a tough spot right now because you completed the H-cell pattern already. Stops already got hit. The only thing right now with Tesla is you have NVDA correlation. So if NVIDIA goes down, the whole market's going to crash. And then obviously you have single stock correlation, it being a big holding in the NASDAQ. So what I would do on Tesla, or what I'm doing, is I'm going to wait till Thursday and then probably do a weekly option and just look for a short-term short squeeze. Nothing crazy. Because everything right now in the market is a question mark because of NVIDIA. And it sucks to say, but NVIDIA is such a large weight of the market that we're kind of forced. Sadly, we are forced, I should say. We are forced to be dependent on it, right? And you never want to be dependent on anything. NVIDIA has a 19% weight in the SMH, which is very bearish, right? The SMH still needs to retest these lows, or you get a cap bounce to 260. A 7% weight of the SPY, and then an 8% of the Qs. So it's basically going to move the market. But one thing that is concerning, and again, I probably will not trade NVIDIA. I might do a correlated trade, but probably not specifically. Unless we see a lot of put buying, I might do a crash play of it crashing lower. But one thing that is a red flag is this thing, and it's the crypto, Bitcoin. Let me ask in the chat, because I don't know anyone. Maybe y'all can tell me. Has anyone ever made money on crypto? Besides Dogecoin. Has anyone ever made money in cryptocurrencies? I would love to know. I would love to hear in the chat, because I want y'all to make money. But has anyone? Yes, $2,000. Yes, oh good. Now let me ask you, was it Bitcoin or was it an altcoin or another kind of coin? Like a Ethereum or, I don't know. There's so many. I don't know what they all are. In and out. It's tough. Bitcoin. BITO, so the Bitcoin ETF. Good. But what has happened to most cryptocurrency coins? Because Bitcoin is, we'll say it's the king, the crown, right? The best of the best. But most people out there don't own Bitcoin. Why? It's too expensive, right? So they mostly own the cheap alternatives, like the Ethereum. This thing is down 40% from the high. So if you think other cryptos are in a bear market, Bitcoin isn't yet. And Bitcoin is not a flight to safety. It's a risk-on play. So other smaller cryptos are the riskiest. Bitcoin's kind of the safest. So what this does in correlation is if you have selling in cryptos and those people start getting margin called, probably won't happen until Bitcoin hits maybe 75. Still has a huge gap to fill, right? And remember, 80% of gaps get filled, right? So, the probability is it moving lower. What could happen, and this is the scary part of the U.S. equity market, is that selling, people getting margin called, basically people getting blown out of Bitcoin, they're going to force to sell stocks like NVDA, Palantir, and those other high-flying stocks that are up a ton. You see how Palantir already filled the gap? So kind of similar to Bitcoin, right? 80% of gaps get filled. And this was the darling of the market up in here, remember? So you have forced selling across other risky asset classes, mostly high-growth stocks. Hims and Hers, the Oklos, like all these high flyers, right? You see how they all basically have filled their run up? That impacts those risk-on stocks. So that could be forced selling. If NVIDIA misses earnings, it's only going to accelerate that. If NVIDIA goes up on earnings, you kick the can down the road to another day, right? It'll be good for markets. And then what else most people own? They own Mara, right? Mara, which is a Bitcoin fraud, right? It's a fraud company. They tried copying MSTR. And look what happened to that. Remember I said when shares were around 450, do not chase, because the CEO pumped the stock here. Michael Taylor did the podcast media rounds. That's where the stock got all this volume and a pump. So when you have a CEO pumping their own company and then retail traders are down 50% or investors, that's a fraud, right? There's no doubt about it. And then the other one is Riot that people own, which is holding up okay. SoftBank got involved in this one. this is one of the biggest funds in the world. They bought it up in here. See where the volume came in? And now they're down, pretty big, right? From 14 to $9. So this is going to cause a lot of blowups in high-risk asset classes. So therefore, and this is getting a little boring, I know, but therefore, when I say boring, where's money going? To the big, long bond. Look at that's a 15-minute. We turn off after hours, or we'll look at the bond futures. ZB's 30-year bond futures. It's a little bit cleaner than TLT. If you can't trade futures, you can always trade TLT. But if you look at the long bond, you see how it's breaking out? Bonds historically are a flight to safety. So when people take their money out of risky asset classes or risky stocks, they'll go into bonds. And then Musk actually talked about bonds in a Bloomberg article yesterday about how investors are wrong on bonds and bonds can squeeze. So if you want a flight to safety, look at TLT or the long bond. All right, but let's get into the fun part, the gambling part. Well, not really gambling, because when gambling, you're usually wrong, but we've been right. Let's get into the fun part of the day and what we want to be on the lookout for, right? Because that's what we want, right? We want to be on the lookout and be proactive in making money. So let's go ahead, pull that up. I should have my camera change here. John says, my TLT calls printed yesterday. Love to hear it. And remember, this is something very important. So I know y'all are junkies, and I applaud y'all. I do. I love it. I love the junkie. But everyone wants to trade NVDA and all the crazy stocks. I get it. They're fun. But they have very high implied vol. If you look at TLT, so let me ask you, John G in the chat, how much did your TLT calls go up yesterday on, how much was it up yesterday? On let's say a 2% move. What's 90 to 91? Yeah, up a 1.5% move. How much were your calls up? If not, I can just go and find out. We'll say like the March next week calls. They more than doubled from 40 cents to $1.05. So about 80%, it says. Very good. So you can get a small move, and that's one thing I want y'all to start really looking at. You could get a small move in some of these stocks, like Pfizer, like J&J, Walmart, T-Mobile, Procter, Colgate, even some of your energy names. A 1 to 2% move can make those options go up 40, 50, 100% in a day. Meanwhile, you're going to have to get like a 10% move in NVIDIA to make, 50% or so on earnings. Or a normal day, you need a 5% move in Roku to make 40%. So you can get a small move and make money on some of these stocks. So let me also go over one thing, and then we'll wrap up here. So do y'all remember the trade I gave in XSP yesterday? I'll pull it up here. So XSP, all it is the S&P, but a mini version. So instead of trading SPX, which they have 1 day, 2 day, weekly options, you see how they're like $22? Or if you trade the SPY, it's very liquid, by the way, SPY. It's still $3, $4 for tomorrow. XXP, you see the trade is up I closed most out at 75%. I kept one lot just to show y'all today on. But you see how I'm up 90% in it. And all I'm doing is looking to sell dollar-wide bull put credit spreads at the market maker's move. So let's say, and I could do that every day. So let's say today, I want to do that same trade as yesterday. I take the current price, it's $5.95. I subtract the market maker's move, which is right here. And you could do that every day. It's $7. So that's $5.88, right? That would be my downside, where the market makers think the stock can go if all hell breaks loose, doomsday. Basically what they're pricing in, what they're hedging. So if you want, you could go ahead to that 588, sell that put, buy the 587 put, try to get around 20 cents for it. And then as the stock goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit, or stays flat, that time decay is so rapid that the option can move so much in your favor with just an hour or two, because the options just dwindle in value. So that's something to look forward to, and I'll start posting more of those on Telegram. But also, too, if you want to look at the advantages of it, and this is more for folks out there who are, maybe a little tempted on directional trading at the moment, but want something, especially too, you have a lot, and this is from the CBOE, so it's not, I'm not just talking out my ass. The big problem most people have when they're doing SPY or, Microsoft, is if you're wrong or it goes against you, what happens? You take stock, and you need a huge account, right? You take stock, and then next thing you know, you own 100 shares of SPY or Microsoft, and you're like, hey, I only have a $20,000 account. What am I supposed to do? So with this, there's no assignment. They're cash settled, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And they get taxed way better than individual stocks or ETFs. So a lot more friendly for you traders looking to have a tax advantage and not take stock and not having to worry about stock assignment. All right, so let's look at a couple other names before we wrap up. A couple names to keep an eye out for. I would personally be looking at Amazon today. CFLT, we've had those calls, see if it squeezes a little bit more. That one's a good one. I know on my event in Jacksonville, we had some people even do leaps in it, but CFLT should be doing very well. And then look for bearish opportunities, crypto stocks, some of the high flyers. Keep an eye on the NASDAQ and the market eternals. So NYSE tick, the ADD line, and then the trend index as well. Because I'll be honest, I do not love this gap up so far. It's looking a little, and then TKO for all my wrestling bulls out there. We do have earnings upcoming. Looks like shares are up pre-market. We do have earnings upcoming after the bell on 26. Wow, Amazon's up another $3 already. Whew. I'm long TKO calls for alpha sweeps. I'll send out an alert if we add to them. Some more ahead of earnings. But if it does go down on earnings, obviously I'll be going, I don't want to say all in, but I'll be pushing a lot of chips in the pot if we could print around 140. If we go up on earnings, then yay, we get rewarded. Everyone have a great morning. If you took some of the WBA, Workday, Rocket, XSP options, you're probably having a fantastic week. Congrats. You could day trade, swing trade. So many opportunities now. It's endless out there. And then Warped Option members at 10 a.m. we'll be putting on a couple new trades. We'll be going slow and steady.
So not fast like we are today. So if you have questions like, hey, what is a warped option or what is a spread? How do you execute it? How do you do it? That will be for members only at 10 a.m. for the warped option masterclass. If you're not a member, I'm not sure. I would probably have to call. You probably have to call in to sign up, but you need to do it soon because we go live at 10 a.m. Eastern time. That makes sense? All right. Thanks, everyone.